Chairwoman Shea and members of the committee, thank you for the opportunity to testify today as you prepare to confirm DDOT's new director. My name is Todd Brogan, and I'm a representative of the Amalgamated Transit Union, whose more than 10,000 members in this region are mostly employed by Metro and DDOT and their contractors. In addition to my testimony, I'm submitting a document profiling each of the contractors we've been told may be bidding on the DC circulator and some that Metro are considering. I'll touch on a few in my testimony, but the list of concerns is frankly too long to fit into 5 minutes. I think you've heard and will continue to hear a common concern among those testifying today: the failure of private contractors to provide high-quality transit service without cutting corners on rider safety or on workers' rights. Those concerns are not driven by ideology. They're reached through firsthand experience with this failed system. This union shares those concerns. Over 125 years, we have represented transit workers through every mode change, every round of expansions and cuts, every transfer of ownership and management across more than 200 cities in 2 countries. While we can pull examples from Las Vegas or Boston or Phoenix, as you heard today, there's not really any need because almost every experiment with public transit has been tried right here in Washington. That's why nearly half a century ago, we ended private sector provision of transit and created public transit agencies. Private companies could not turn a profit while meeting the demands of an equitable society. Public transit is a public service intended to provide quality mobility for all, not simply those easiest to transport or who live in the most convenient places. Yet when agencies like WMATA or DDOT seek to contract out, they rarely cite these as their primary goals. A recent press release from WMATA announcing the first ever privatization of a Metro bus facility had this headline: Metro announces new contracting opportunity in effort to reduce costs, improve efficiency. Costs, efficiency. In its recent analysis of transit contracting, the Transit Center based in New York put it best: the government cannot contract out the public interest. We're doing just that when agencies request proposals from private contractors with cost and efficiency as their goals, as WMATA just did in Lorton, Virginia. You might ask, but aren't we protecting the taxpayer when we do that? Only if you believe that the people who ride these buses or who operate our systems are not taxpayers. In fact, the declining wages and benefits, particularly in paratransit or Metro Access, have helped balloon the number of participants in government assistance programs. A recent UC Berkeley study found that at both the state, and DC should be a state, and federal levels, more than half of total spending on assistance programs in the District of Columbia goes to working families. That means the district taxpayers are double subsidizing contractors who refuse to pay livable wages or provide adequate benefits. But doesn't competition result in a better product? At Metro Access, there are at least 4 multinational corporations providing service. The competition there has led to exactly the opposite: a race to the bottom to lower costs that's resulted in cascading failures in on-time performance. The contractors blamed it on high turnover. Yet Metro Access contractor Transdev, who may also be bidding on the circulator and on Lorton's Cinderbed Road Garage, they built into their 2012 price proposal wages from $13 to $15 an hour. And they stated in black and white that their turnover assumptions were 40%. They planned their contract around almost half of the workforce leaving every year. When that business model collapsed, they and other contractors were bailed out by WMATA to the tune of millions of dollars. Another Metro Access contractor that may be bidding on the circulator, MV Transportation, was found by WMATA to have fabricated the number of rides it was providing, claiming it transported people that were in fact dead, and retroactively changed metrics on more than 100,000 trips to inflate on-time performance. And we all know too well what private contracting has wrought at the DC circulator, where DDOT's previous leadership and First Transit both kept hidden from this committee and from the public a damning audit that showed more than 95% of the vehicles in service were unsafe for our streets. The root of that problem, an inadequate maintenance program, has yet to be fixed. Instead, we procured millions of dollars in new buses that are subject to the same dangerously inadequate maintenance procedures. Our proposal is simple. Let's stop granting millions of dollars to bad actors who provide bad service, who have a record of endangering transit riders and abusing transit workers. Let's learn the lessons of our predecessors. They replaced the private operators 40 years ago. They municipalized transportation. They invested in it. And they supported a career workforce empowered to provide quality service. And the places that did it best, and this is important, made sure the buck stopped somewhere: a mayor, a council, a governor, someone who could be held accountable by riders at the ballot box. Don't continue the failed model that has led to theft and corruption among Metro Access contractors or safety scandals at DC Circulator. Don't reward billion-dollar contractors that deny DC workers affordable health care. Municipalize this service. Recruit management expertise in-house. Create career jobs and invest in our people so they can focus on delivering safe, reliable, on-time service. We stand ready to work with you on setting standards and drafting legislation that would make the nation's capital the nation's example again. Thank you.
Thank you very much.